Today on MTG Unpacked, we've got the new Dungeons & Dragons Commander deck for Magic the Gathering Planar Portal. So we have the Rakdos color combo here, that is black and red. We've got Prosper Tome-Bound as the commander, and you'll notice this isn't actually a card here, they just printed it on the packaging, so that definitely saves on the packaging. With all the plastic they used to have, we've got a bunch of cool cards along with a beholder. Interesting. Deck box, 100 card deck with 17 new cards, 10 double-sided tokens, life rule, strategy insert, and reference card. Alright, so let's get this open. Looks like they've got a pull tab on the bottom. So rip that open. Okay, so nice design on the packaging here. Still a little bulky, so you can see here is our commander. Can't actually use that. We've got some little counters here. You may use these as counters or victory confetti, apparently. Not sure what that is about. Okay, and then we'll take a look at the box here. Very snazzy. And we'll get a commander deck here along with a bunch of other stuff. So here is the life wheel. I think we're counting up to, let's get that in focus, counting up to 40, yep, okay. So that may or may not be useful depending on the type of the deck. And then we have this insert. So this is talking about playing the deck. So exiling cards, okay, so we'll keep an eye out for that. Here are some rules for Commander in case you're new to the game. And by the way, these decks are going for about 35 to 40 US. I actually picked mine up for 30 US each with the bundle. Okay, so here is Prosper Tome-Bound. And we've got Karazaka, the Eye Tyrant, Lorcan, Warlock Collector, and some other stuff here. Set boosters, we'll be cracking some of those open real soon on the channel. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into the deck here. And we will be cracking open the remainder in the next day or so, so stay tuned. And a bit of an intelligence test here, which I failed. Alright, so there is something cool. Right, so they have the this thick card here is like your display commander, replaces the oversized one. And then we have the regular variety of that. So let's take a look. We have Prosper Tome-Bound. Legendary creature, Tiefling Warlock. It's a mythic. 1/4 for 4 with Death Touch and Mystic Arcanum. At the beginning of your end step, exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. And has Pact Boon. Whenever you play a card from exile, create a treasure token. Okay, so the treasure will get you mana, and your exiling things, you can play them again later. Okay, interesting strategy. And next we have a Karazaka, the Eye Tyrant, legendary creature, beholder, 5/5 for 5. Awesome artwork, I must say. Whenever you attack a player, tap target creature that player controls and goad it. So that means until your next turn, that creature attacks each combat if able and attacks a player other than you if able. Whenever an opponent attacks another one of your opponents, you and the attacking player each draw a card and lose 1 life. Okay, so you get some card draw there. Here's the tokens. We'll take a look at those later. And let's see, filter out the mana here. I think this is all mana. Yep, we'll take a look at that later. Alright. So the rest of the deck here, we have Warlock class. So this is a new type of enchantment, the class. You can gain levels here. So on the first level, at the beginning of your end step, if a creature died this turn, each opponent loses 1 life. The second level, you pay that cost. When this class becomes level 2, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and rest into your graveyard. And the third level, at the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses life equal to the life they lost this turn. Okay, Chaos Channeler, creature human shaman, 4/3 for 4, wild magic surge. So you got to roll a d20 here whenever it attacks. If you roll a 1 to 9, exile the top card of your library, you may play it this turn. You roll 10 through 19, exile the top 2 cards of your library, you may play them this turn. If you roll a 20, exile the top 3 cards of your library, you may play them this turn. Okay, so continuing the exile theme here, you find some prisoners, instant for 2. Choose one, break their chains, so destroy target artifact, or interrogate them. Exile the top 3 cards of target opponent's library. Choose one of them until end of your next turn. You may play that card, and you may spend mana as well, or mana of any color to cast it. Bucknard's Ever Full Purse, that's fun. Artifact for 2. Pay 1, tap, roll a d4, and create a number of treasure tokens equal to the result. The player to your right gains control of Bucknard's Ever Full Purse. So you may need to invest in some new types of dice if you don't already have some. Ebony Fly, artifact for 2, enters battlefield tap, tap it for colorless for 4, roll a d6. You've probably got a d6. Until end of your turn, you may have Ebony Fly become an XX insect artifact creature with flying, where X is the result. And whenever Ebony Fly attacks another target, attacking creature gains flying until end of turn. We've got a Underdark Rift, okay, so a random land chucked in here, tap for colors for 5, tap. Exile it, roll a d10, okay, another type of dice you'll need. Put target artifact, creature, or planeswalker into its owner's library just beneath the top X cards of that library, where X is the result. Activate only as a sorcery. So a lot of dice rolling going on in this set. Pathesis, sorcery for a buttload of mana. What is that, 7? Destroy target creature, its controller loses life equal to its power plus its toughness, and has suspend 5. So you're basically delaying when you cast that. Light Up the Stage, sorcery for 3, spectacle for a single red, exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. That was a good one when it was in standard. Loyal Apprentice, creature, human artificer, 2/1 for 2 with haste and lieutenant. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control your commander, create a 1/1 color, stop the artifact creature token with flying. That token gains haste until end of turn. Shiny Impetus, enchantment aura for 3, enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and is goaded, so we learned about that earlier. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, you create a treasure token, so that's an artifact with tap. Sack this artifact, add 1 mana of any color. Throes of Chaos, sorcery for 4, has Cascade and Retrace. So I believe that one was in Modern Horizons, the original. Vandal Blast, sorcery for a single red, destroy target artifact you don't control, overload for 4 and a red. So you can change that by paying that higher cost and exile or destroy each target artifact you don't control. So that's pretty awesome. Bituminous Blast, instant for 5, Cascade. It deals 4 damage to target creature. Rakdos Charm, instant for 2, choose one, exile all cards from target player's graveyard, destroy target artifact, each creature deals 1 damage to its controller. Terminate, instant for 2, destroy target creature, it can't be regenerated. That's pretty straightforward. Here's like an auto include in just about every deck. Arcane Signet, artifact for 2, tap, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Commander's Sphere, artifact for 3, tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity, sack it, draw a card. Felwar Stone, artifact for 2, tap, add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Mind Stone, artifact for 2, tap for colorless for 1, tap, sack it, draw a card. A Razka Relic, artifact for 3 with Ascend, so that's the City's Blessing thing. Tap for colorless, tap, sack it, you gain 3 life and draw a card, activate only if you have the City's Blessing. Rakdos Signet, artifact for 2, pay 1, tap, add black and red to your mana pool. Of course, what would a commander deck be without Soul Ring, artifact for 1, tap for 2, colorless. Talisman of Indulgence, artifact for 2, tap for colorless, tap, add black or red, it deals 1 damage to you. Unstable Obelisk, artifact for 3, tap for colorless, for 7, tap, sack it, destroy target permanent. Bajuka Bog, okay, this is a nice include. Enters battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, exile all cards from target player's graveyard. Bit of graveyard hate there. Tap for black. Command Tower, land, tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Mortuary Mire, another tap land here. You may put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. When this enters the battlefield, tap it for black. Rakdos Carnarium, enters battlefield tapped. When it enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. Tap for black and red. Bag of Devouring. What is this? Artifact for a black. Whenever you sacrifice another non-token artifact or creature, exile it. For 2 taps, sack another artifact or creature, draw a card. For 3 taps, sack it, roll a d10. Return up to X cards from among cards exiled with Bag of Devouring to our owner's hands, where X is the result. Okay, so you're sacrificing things to get card draw, or you can get some things back, but it depends on the dice roll. Okay, we've got Dan's Macabre, sorcery for 5. Each player sacks a non-token creature, roll a d20, and add the toughness of the creature you sacrifice this way. For 1 to 14, return a creature card put into a graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. For 15 or more, return up to 2 creature cards put into graveyards this way to the battlefield under your control. So that is into any graveyard, so it doesn't have to be yours. Interesting. Death Tyrant. Creature Beholder Skeleton. This is what we're here for. 4/6 for 5 with Menace. Negative Energy Cone. Whenever an attacking creature you control or blocking creature an opponent controls dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token for 5 and a black. Return Death Tyrant from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Awesome. Grim Hireling. Creature Tiefling Rogue. 3/2 for 4. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create 2 treasure tokens. Pay a black, sack X treasures. Target creature gets -X until end of turn, where you activate that only as a sorcery. Hellish Rebuke. Instant for 3 until end of turn. Permanents your opponent's control gain. When this permanent deals damage to the player who cast Hellish Rebuke, sacrifice this permanent, you lose 2 life. Lorcan Warlock Collector. What does he do? Collect warlocks? Legendary creature Devil. 6/6 for 7 with flying. Whenever a creature card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, you may pay life equal to its mana value. If you do, put it onto the battlefield under your control. It's a warlock in addition to its other types. Okay, I was kidding, but he actually does that. If a warlock you control would die, exile it instead. Okay. Moving on to the rest of the deck here, and then we'll take a squiz at the mana base. So looking pretty decent so far. We have Fiend Lash. Artifact equipment for 2. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has reach. Whenever a equipped creature is dealt damage, it deals damage equal to its power to target player or planeswalker. Equip it for 2 and a red. Reckless Endeavor. Sorcery for 7. Roll 2 d12. Okay, so there's a few more dice we need. Choose one result. Reckless Endeavor deals damage equal to that result to each creature. Then create a number of treasure tokens equal to the other result. Share the Spoils. Enchantment for 2. When it enters battlefield or an opponent loses the game, exile the top card of each player's library. During each player's turn, that player may play a land or cast a spell from among cards exiled with Share the Spoils. That's a fun mechanic. And they may spend mana, resort, or mana of any color to cast that spell. When they do, exile the top card of their library. Wild Magic Sorcerer. Creature Orc Shaman. 4/3 for 4. The first spell you cast from exile each turn has Cascade. Fevered Suspicion. I love my beholders, of course. Sorcery 4/8. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a non-land card. You may cast any number of spells from among those non-land cards without paying their mana costs. And then it has Rebound. So if you cast a spell from your hand, exile it as it resolves at the beginning of your next upkeep. You may cast this card from exile without paying its mana cost. Hurl Through Hell. Okay, that's the one we saw on the box. Instant for 4. Exile target creature until the end of your next turn. You may cast that card, and you may spend mana, resort, or mana of any color to cast that spell. Chittering Witch. Creature Human Warlock. 2/2 for 4. So when it enters the battlefield, create a number of 1/1 black rat creature tokens equal to the number of opponents you have. For 1 and a black, sack a creature. Target creature gets -2/2 until end of turn. Consuming Vapors. Sorcery for 4. Target player sacrifices a creature. You gain life equal to that creature's toughness. Also has Rebound. Dead Man's Chest. Is this one from Ixalan? I think it is. Enchantment Aura for 2. Enchant creature an opponent controls. When the enchanted creature dies, exile cards equal to its power from the top of its owner's library. You may cast spells from among those cards for as long as they remain exiled, and you may spend mana, resort, or mana of any type to cast those spells. Fiend of the Shadows. Creature Vampire Wizard. 3/3 for 5 with flying. Whenever Fiend of the Shadows deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles a card from their hand. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Sacrifice a human, you get to regenerate Fiend of the Shadows. And it's good old Gonti, Lord of Luxury, legendary creature, Aetherborn Rogue, 2/3 for 4 with Death Touch. When Gonti enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of target opponent's library, exile one of them face down, then put the rest on the bottom of that library in a random order. You may look at and cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana or mana of any type to cast that spell. Ooh, this is cool artwork. Hex. Sorcery for 6, destroy 6 target creatures. Okay. When killing 5 just isn't enough. That's a nice flavour on that one. Marionette Master. I remember this one. I used to have a fun combo. Creature, Human Artificer, 1/3 for 6 with Fabricate 3. So when this creature enters the battlefield, put 3 +1/+1 counters on it. Or create 3 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature tokens. Whenever an artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to Marionette Master's power. So I think the idea was you basically dispose of the artifacts and keep pinging the opponent. We've got an Ogre Slumlord, creature Ogre Rogue, 3/3 for 5. Whenever a non-token creature dies, you may create a 1/1 black rat creature token. Rats you control have Death Touch. Awesome. And of course, to go along with the rats, we've got a few on that theme. Piper of the Swarm, creature Human Warlock, 1/3 for 2. Rats you control have Menace for 1 and a black tap. Create a 1/1 black rat creature token for 2 and 2 black taps. Sack 3 rats. Gain control of target creature. Pontiff of Blight, creature Zombie Cleric, 2/7 for 6 with Extort. So whenever you cast a spell, you may pay white or black. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain that much life. Other creatures you control have Extort. Interesting. Apex of Power, it's a mythic. Sorcery for 10, exile the top 7 cards of your library until end of turn. You may cast spells from among them. If this spell was cast from your hand, add 10 mana of any one color. Chaos Swap, instant for 3. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library. If it's a permanent card, they put it onto the battlefield. Commune with Lava, instant for X and 2 red, exile the top X cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards. Dark Dweller Oracle, creature Goblin Shaman, 2/2 for 2, 1, sack a creature, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Will we get another Goblin? We do not, alas. Dire Fleet Daredevil, creature Human Pirate, 2/1 for 2, first strike. When it enters the battlefield, exile target instant or sorcery card from an opponent's graveyard. You may cast it this turn. You may spend mana as well or mana of any type to cast that spell. If that spell will be put into a graveyard this turn, exile it instead. Disrupt Decorum, sorcery for 4. Goad all creatures you don't control. Dinner and politics don't mix. We've got a Dream Pillager, creature Dragon, 4/4 for 7 with flying. Whenever Dream Pillager deals combat damage to a player, exile that many cards from the top of your library until end of turn. You may cast spells from among those exiled cards. Ooh, it's good old Atali, Primal Storm, legendary creature Elder Dinosaur, 6/6 for 6. Whenever Atali attacks, exile the top card of each player's library, then you may cast any number of spells from among those cards without paying their mana costs. Ignite the Future, sorcery for 4. Exile the top 3 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. If the spell was cast from a graveyard, you may play cards this way without paying their mana costs. Also has Flashback for 7 and a red, so you can get it from your graveyard. Is it Chemister? Nice. Creature Goblin Wizard, 1/3 for 3 with haste for a red tap. Exile target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard for 1 and a red tap. Sack it, cast any number of cards exiled with Is it Chemister without paying their mana costs. Tectonic Giant, creature elemental giant, 3/4 for 4. So whenever it attacks or becomes a target of a spell an opponent controls, choose one. It deals 3 damage to each opponent, or exile the top 2 cards of your library. Choose one of them until end of your next turn. You may play that card. Bedevil, instant for 3, destroy target artifact, creature, or planeswalker. Theatre of Horrors, enchantment for 3. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. During your turn, if an opponent lost life this turn, you may play lands and cast spells from among cards exiled with Theatre of Horrors. For 3 and a red, it deals 1 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. and a Chaos Wand. Artifact for 3. For 4, tap. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instant or sorcery card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then put the exiled cards that weren't cast this way on the bottom of that library in a random order. Okay, so that is the bulk of the deck. Let's take a look at the tokens and the mana base. So of course we have some rats. So 4 of those, and what is on the other side? We got some zombies, 2/2 zombies. Alright, and some servos, 2, 3 of those. And on the other side, treasure and another zombie. Alright. We've got a Thopter, 1/1. So 3 of those, and more treasure on the other side, and parts of a turn. So if you're a new player, that's handy reference. Popular Magic formats. What is your favorite format? Leave a note in the comments. Okay, so now we're going to take a quick look at the mana base. We've got the Exotic Orchard. Add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Foreboding Ruins. As it enters battlefield, you may reveal a swamp or mountain card from your hand. If you don't, it enters tapped. Tap it for black or red. We've got another one here. Pay 1, tap, add black and red. That's Shadow Blood Ridge. Smoldering Marsh. So this is a tap land unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Tap for black or red. Spine Rock Knoll has Hideaway. So it enters battlefield tapped. When it does, look at the top 4 cards of your library. Exile 1 face down and put the rest on the bottom of your library. Tap for red, tap. You may play the exile card without paying its mana cost if an opponent was dealt 7 or more damage this turn. Got a Tainted Peak. Tap for colorless, tap for black or red. Activate only if you control a swamp. Zalfaran Void. So when it enters battlefield, scry 1, tap for colorless. We got a basic swamp. I like the flavor text on those. Sort of like a D&D type thing. Okay, so a bunch of swamps. A lot of swamps. Okay, so I know some people like to see the artwork on these. The flavor text. So we'll go through those. Okay, that was the swamps for a second there. I thought we'll be here forever. And the mountains. Okay, so we've got some new flavor text on these, new artwork, awesome. So what do you think of that? I think it really helps with the flavor of this set. Okay, so a bunch of mountains. Alright, so I think that is the deck. We've gone through everything. So, looks pretty decent. You have a bunch of dice rolling mechanics here, so you might need to pick up some extra dice. What was it, like a D4, D6? You probably already got, I think there was a D10, D12. So just get an entire assortment. You'll be all set. I like the mechanics here with exiling, casting from exile. You've got some rebound, cascade, a bunch of graveyard hate. So it looks like a solid deck. Let me know in the comments what you think about this one, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button for more Magic the Gathering unboxings, and be sure to tap the notification bell to be notified as soon as new videos are released. Stay tuned, we'll be cracking open the remaining 3 D&D decks later today. Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy out there. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.